at the end of the day, you can't say that Kanye is the victim in this whole thing because you're claiming to be this dad and you love your kids, but you go and move to fucking Wyoming and you set up shop over there knowing the kids are going to school. So
yeah, but every genius is never good with family. Every genius I've ever seen, and we look into, like, shit, Elon Musk, you don't hear what his dad say about him? Basically says he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, but his
Steve
dad
Jobs
impregnated his stepdaughter, who he had raised since 4 years old.
It's weird shit. Steve Jobs, his wife or woman at the time.
Yeah, well, his first daughter, yeah.
Yeah, and his daughter, they don't fuck with him.
They don't fuck
because,
with him,
you know, usually great men, they sacrifice a lot with family. Like, that's one of the reasons I don't got kids now. Because my life is usually so much dictated by work. Somebody's gonna have to give. And for the great people, in the sense of the ones where I think you probably have like great life balance, where you could just be like, you know what, this is work, this is family.
Yeah.
Some of the geniuses, they don't do that. It's either, yo, I'm going to Wyoming or Hawaii just because I have to do it for art, and I don't care if it's your first school dance coming up. I don't care if it's your first football game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just put that off, and resentment's gonna start to build. So.
Right, and you know, and it's probably justified with the photo ops. Oh, look, I took my daughter to the Super Bowl. But you're not there every day, you know, actually dealing with her and taking her to school and helping her with her homework and living in the same home with her and everything else like that. The whole, you know, like you look at the Nick Cannon situation with like his, 9, 10 kids, and it's like, oh, I'm just here to, create and whatever, but you got like 6 different baby mothers living in 6 different houses. You're trying to, you're doing photo ops with everybody. You're showing up at like birthdays and whatever, but you're not really there. You're not really being a parent because it's fucking impossible.
And by the way,
too many women.
And by the way, Kim showed us that.
Yeah.
Man, Kim was saying how she was having the time of her life going on ice cream dates. Like, let me tell you, barefoot in the sand.
Let me tell you,
what I mean? She's basically saying, she's like, we're having great time just watching Netflix. Like,
right.
It was some shit that had nothing to do with money, all about to do with time.
Yeah, and it goes both ways, because let me tell you, like, we all live in the same area. Like, I live in Calabasas, and I remember this one time at the, at the pharmacy, I go and see Saint West, right, his son, with a bodyguard and someone who's obviously the nanny. And I'm like, oh, this is strange. The nanny is basically taking this kid on her errands. Whereas, why isn't the kid at home or doing, So when Kanye is saying like, oh, the nanny is raising the kids, I'm like, oh, I'm actually kind of seeing it right now.
I think that happens in like most celebrity relationships. And by the way, I think most celebrity relationships just live on a different fucking axis. I don't know why it is. Skeet tatted Kim's name in like 3 months. Like, bro, what's going on with that?
Yeah, it's retarded.
You know what I mean? So it's like, maybe there's just a certain level of rich that we can't comprehend, but it never seems to be healthy.
Yeah, you could say there's a certain level of rich, and listen, like when you have a lot of money, yes, you could do that, but it's not going to replace the actual parents being there raising the kids. I grew up in a 2-parent home. My mom and dad were there 100% of the time. Yes, I've had issues with my parents over the years and so forth. Me and my mom don't talk these days and so forth. But I can never say that I was poorly raised. And I didn't know where my mom was or where my dad was. And I'm being raised by nannies and I'm having mommy and daddy issues. Like, they did a fine job when it comes to that. You see what I'm saying?
But to bring back up something that I think, I'm bringing up one particular point. You see, even right now, right? Okay. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but like, say Andrew Tate, right? One of the things he does say is like, essentially, the dude should be the breadwinner and the women should take care of the kids. That's historically how it should be. When you got 2 parents, though, and both of them chasing their own dreams, both trying to be a bigger billionaire than the other, like Kanye put his wife in a group text with Jay-Z and Drake and Kid Cudi and Travis Scott and he said to his wife and all those people, and Jay-Z's in a group text too, I'm richer than all of y'all together.
Right.
Like, are you in competition with your wife? Like, it's not a household like that. So I really don't think that in their version of family life that either or would sacrifice business for raising kids. So somebody got to raise them, nannies, bodyguards. You know what I mean? I don't know if grandpa and grandma gets involved like that, but you hope. But that's when you then think about it, like, how do you get that to be a healthy situation? You got 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody needs to be there the majority of the time. Somebody has to make that sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you tell Kanye, oh, stop making new Yeezys or stop going to Wyoming? Or do you tell her, hey, chill out with this makeup stuff for a while. Yo, you got to tend to these kids. Like, they're at an age where I know for me growing up, that's so impressionable on you.
Yeah.
Like, my grandmother was there for a lot of things, God rest her soul. She's the person who I've loved the most in life because she was there for me at my most formative years, like helping me, protecting me. Like, I was running to her every single day for whatever issues I was going through as a little boy. Man, these kids are growing up with nannies and shit like that, man. So again, like, how could that really be ever healthy?
Listen, I remember there was a video where, like, I think it was like Paris Fashion Week, where like a bunch of paparazzis were, was snapping pictures, and it was Northwest and I think Kim, and like Northwest was like yelling at the paparazzi, "You're all homeless."
Yeah.
And I'm like, where do you think she got that shit from?
Come on, man.
Who do you think talks like that at home? You're all homeless? Like,
and by the way, this is why I have to a certain degree, even though people I think that I hate Jay-Z. No, I have a lot of respect for Jay-Z in certain senses. I think Jay-Z and Beyonce, I think they have made sacrifices to their own career publicly to be able to have a family.
Yeah.
And you think Beyonce couldn't be on world tours every single day?
Right.
You think Beyonce couldn't just like literally be constantly chasing this fleeting, like, super famous, whatever the case is? And Jay-Z could be like, no, well, I need to keep building a company. What I do see with them is that they've taken a back seat for family.
Yep.
And when you do look at that, I think it's admirable.
Very much
But
so.
not everybody is like that, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?